Just a reminder why I don't like mechanic work. It's so hard sometimes. Makes you want to cry. Okay, I'm having a problem. I want to get this thing registered. It's an old ass car, man. Probably like a 2002 Chevy Tahoe with the Vortec 4.7, I believe. 4.8 liter Vortec. 4.8 liter. And you know, I did put the spark plugs on there. There's a specific spark plug you're supposed to use. I'm not sure. I forgot what the name of it is. Iridium maybe. Only a specific spark plug that are supposed to last 100,000 miles. So you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. But I bought these plugs a while back. I'm just gonna do some gapping, right? But I'm having the hardest problem here. I don't even know what size this is. It doesn't say. It's crazy. But I'm gonna work with it anyway. Yeah. It's like a 9/16 or something like that. And so I'm gonna work it out. But we got a big problem here. It's just hard to get to it because of this right here. It's gonna cut your hand up. Yep, that's gonna cut your hand up. That little hook right there. And between this right here too. I'll try to get the hardest one first. Can't even see back there. I already pulled the cord off. I'll set it up here. Luckily that one came off without ripping. If you don't change your plugs in a while, these just destruct. They self-destruct. But I didn't get no dielectric grease. Probably a wise thing to use that. I'll put it back on. But man, this is a trusty Chevy right here. Had a little knock issue when I first got it. Still got knock sensor problems. Got to move that whole intake to get to it. I ain't shutting. Get that plug out in the back. It's a pain in the neck. Put my glove on so I don't cut my hand up so much. But I'll try to pause and get into this. Honestly, I'm over here struggling, trying to get this thing in through the top. Trying to put this up here, right? I'm not gonna do that again, but I just went down to the bottom, right? That way, I tried to put the socket on there first and then put the wrench on. It just wasn't working. But you know, simply just went down to the bottom. Boom. I'm on there. Work smarter, not harder. Anyway, shouldn't keep one of those reach magnets handy so you don't have to, if you drop stuff, you don't have to deal with too much. I'm gonna do a little research on the process of this. I'm not gonna say I'm a proclaimed mechanic, but if you want to see how you get your hands dirty without getting your hands dirty, come see me. 6245. That's what that is. AP 6245. I don't know what this cracking is going on there, but it's not even cracked though. It's actually, I'll probably get some new ones to put on here. But I'm trying to do a quick fix. I got much more issues to deal with. And look at that. No, it's not too bad. It just needs to be cleaned off. I hear there was some, I don't have no brake cleaner. I think it's suggested to use brake cleaner, but I got some starter fluid. I hear there was starter fluid. I think I might wipe that off a little better. That electrode, clean it up around there. And put this back in and move on to the next one. Yeah, move on to the next one. I forgot the code. They got a whole slew of codes. I'm just gonna go by what I see by common sense. My check engine light doesn't even really come on. It comes on when you start the vehicle, then it goes off. No biggie. The car runs so smooth. I mean, it's quiet. And it's telling me I have Cadillac converter problems. It's so powerful. This little 4.7 is good to go. And I love the way it sounds when you rev it up. Or 4.8, my bad, 4.8 liter. Vortec. Car drives well. I can't get past emissions. So I don't like to drive this thing. Let me just start with cleaning these up. And then I know I have an oil pressure sensor that's out, obviously. It goes all the way up whenever as soon as I turn the ignition on, it goes all the way up and it stays up, the oil pressure. Probably need to change this little dipstick right here. Every time I change my oil, I've been looking at references to see how much I'm missing. Probably about that much, not very much. So I'm kind of eyeballing it. And I got a little vacuum leak right here. I put some tape on it. This hose is hard to find. They don't have this hose. You can't find it in the store. It's crazy. Then I got this box that's cracked, you know, plastic crap. All the rest of them, I can tighten them up. So I just kind of had to rig something up for now. Put a little bolt right there with so-called nut washer on there. Just to hold that down so I don't get that airflow, excess airflow through that mass. And other than that, man, the water's going somewhere sometimes, the radiator fluid, no biggie. I'll take this truck cross country. It's rough ride, need some shocks on it. It's really my beatbox, you know, I like to have something to pound in without attracting too much attention. I hit up with the starter fluid. I don't have any brake cleaner right now, and honestly, I'm the only one working right now, so I didn't have the excess funds to be doing any excess buying stuff right now. I'm just gonna work with what I got. As you know, we got these flat cameras nowadays. Just found something out this morning too. You know, the Wi-Fi router. You're able to read through a Wi-Fi router the signals, your body signals, your heat signals, water signals, whatever in your body, and you're being monitored constantly. But against your will, none of this was voted on, but it's all possible. And it's able, well, there's a will, there's a way. Do whatever you want. And I got this starter fluid. We got these flat cameras nowadays. I think it would be a sucker coward move to pull somebody over, you know, because the flat hits on a, oh, your registration's out. Man, anyway, my registration's out. Man, it should be fair game out there for that. I'm trying to race my license for some stuff like that. You know, I'm a good driver, man. I enjoy driving. I've been driving since I was a young buck. This magnet right here comes in handy. I dropped that sucker down there on the ground a while ago. Yeah, it's a mess. Starter fluid, baby. Right for now. Alright, before I get too crazy with this so-called misinformation, I think it was my ADHD is kicking in high definition. I did a little bit of research. I'm not gonna get too crazy about it though. But you know, on the 5.3 liters, it says on the air box that, you know, 0.060 6,007 inch gap, and it's been later revised to a 0.40. I think last time I did like a 0.055 gap on there. But you know, my ADHD kicked in. I don't have no brake cleaner, so I just use some starter fluid. I'm taking this brush right here. I'm just gonna brush it all around, clean it off as best as possible. And I got my gapper tool. I lost the old one that I had. You know, these things are probably like a couple of bucks. Parts store O'Reilly. So I'm gonna go ahead and aim for that 040. Yeah, 0.040. Cannot get a good view on it, but. And it says do not use this either. You got to use a special wire. It says, actually it says don't even gap it. But it's crazy. I'm going to go ahead and do it with these sensitive things. I guess you don't want to break, you don't want that metal piece right there to break off in your block. You wouldn't know what to do. Be real gentle and prayerful, man. That's the only way. I was setting at a 050, so now I'll drop it down to 040, 0040, that is. I knocked it in a little bit. The thing about it, with this gapper right here, you put it on there on the small side and you run it around. You can actually bend it out a little bit if you need to. I think it's sitting about right there, 040. So I'm gonna do it like that this time. Plenty of electrode on there. Thing about it that makes it easy is these aren't too deep into the block, you know. To the point you had to, it's just right here, pretty shallow. Once you pop it in, it's just so hard to get to. As you can see, I found the best way to get to it is go up under all this right here. If you try to go through that hole up there, it's just more complicated. So here we are. Put this one back in. I honestly can't tell if it's threading in or not. This is such a pain in the neck. So I'm going in through the top and in through the bottom, trying to figure it out. Why is it so hard? I'm not gonna lie, I'm so aggravated. So aggravated. So I'm hoping the rest of these are gonna be easy, but that one in the back on the passenger side, and I think the one in the front on the driver's side is gonna be hard. But I choose the hard ones first, so that, you know, I had the gloves on. I'm still jacking myself up. I ain't had no gloves on. Most thing that's annoying, I just want to pull this crap off, is that especially, and that right there, that little pan right there. Oh my God. And then trying to get in between that exhaust plate cover there. You can't see. I mean, there's no way you're gonna be able to see what's going on, and it really don't matter. I stuck my finger in the hole. I can feel the hole, so I put the plug in there. You can't just put the plug in there without a socket on it. It's not gonna happen. You're just gonna keep dropping it. So I'm just gonna keep trying at it, trying to remember that turning it right is the tight and left is the loose. So I think I'm turning it the right way, but it's nowhere. Challenges of life. You gotta learn how to enjoy them, make the best of them, you know? Make the best of them. These gaps are like 0.07. They're pretty deep. Of course, I'm trying to do this by myself. I don't have a recorder with me, so I'm over here fumbling. It don't matter. I'll give me some better equipment one of these days. I'm just low class like that. I really don't care, you know. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that nasty stuff coming out of there. Starter fluid. You have better suggestions if you want. It don't matter. Pretty gapped. I don't know if that's electrode burnt down or what. I thought I had it at 050 or something like that was the last time I set them, but yeah. And that was like a year ago approximately, but I replaced these plugs about 2 or 3 years ago. But that's a lot of electrode right there, so shit. 070, pretty gappy. Pretty gappy, but it is cleaning up a little bit. File it a little bit more with my copper wire brush. So you don't have to hit these too hard. Just a little bit. You don't want to break it. Remember, you definitely don't want it to break off in your motor. Tap it down a little bit. It's going to curl in a lot more to get that 04040. As always, if you go too much, you can always bend it out with this. No biggie. Oh, I think I'm cutting grooves in the bottom of it. No biggie. See the difference? Although I'm not sure, I've got so much learning to do. You know, it's not recommended that you do this because you could break it, or, you know, marketing strategies. If you want to do something right, you might well spend the money, man, and get it done right. But, you know, sometimes you got to compromise. The money ain't like that. You know, you on credit, borrowed time. They're going to buy your soul if you don't get it right. I wonder why a lot of mechanics are alcoholics. Look. When I got that on right, when I got those on, you just got to kind of wiggle it up and down, turn it, wiggle it, turn it, wiggle it, turn it. Make sure you're turning the proper way. And when you pull these off, if you pull by the cords, you're liable to jack it up. So, right? Grab it by that boot down there and wiggle it, turn it, and then yeah, loosen it up a little bit, and it comes off quite easily. Not too easy, but you know, if you have the original ones on there, it's gonna break. You're gonna have to replace everything. Cables, you might be able to get away with those these things right here, you know, the distributors. You see, they're all pretty consistently burned. And mind you, I've had these plugs for 3 to 5 years. I'll say probably most likely 5 years, because years been flying. And the Autolite. What, you know what? This is a different one. They were not all platinum, but this is a platinum. I have some other iridiums. I'm not. Dang, I had to look back on the video. That's crazy, but they're all pretty consistently burned though, to about 0.075 maybe. I guess it does better justice when you see it rolling around. But so okay, that's what I wanted. It's just pretty smooth rolling all the way to about right there, you know, 6.7. It's a little tougher there. And it starts getting gritty. But last time I gapped them, it was about a year ago. Got them about right here, maybe. Or it might have been a 5.1, I'm not sure. Because the information I got at that time was the gapping information. But the new information I'm getting now is it's supposed to have been that, but now you need it there. And you know, it was there, but over a course of a year or so, it burned to about there. Yeah, I like these. See, learned a lot about over tightening. in my time, you know. So I learned to not tighten stuff up so tight. But I have gained this experience with the spark plugs. It's a little different. So check it out. But right here, okay, it's moving pretty smoothly to about there, 3, and then it's getting a little tough right there. So you just gently just work it up and kind of bend it side to side just a little, just gently, ever so gently. Boom. So it's still there. You don't want to get too crazy about it, because you want to wear this out and use it again, you know. That's just what I'm saying for myself. I don't want to wear this out. But there's more to it though, not just this. Take a peek over here. Look, let me make sure. I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna get it. Okay, it's running smooth to about right there. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna settle it right there. One more time. Okay, it's a little tough right there at the 140. I mean 0.040. All right, I'm gonna settle. It's loose all the way up to it. A little bit less, but you know, I'm not sweating. But another thing, when I go to tighten this up, right, I don't like to tighten anything too tight. Like when I change my oils or whatever, you know, I don't want to tighten it too tight, because I know one day I got to get it off again. You know what I'm saying? Lug nuts may be a little different story, but there's always a torque spec, right? You can go find it if you want to. But a lot of times you're just gonna have to feel it. You know? I think that, to me, that's the safest way. Now this hole down here, it's not too hard to find. It's not too hard to find. Once you get it in there, and then you turn it to right to tighten it, a lot of them, you're just turning. You're like, what is the problem? As you see, I can go forward, I can go back, I can go up, I can go down. So you don't want to go too hard in that, but you want to utilize that, because it's not just going to screw right in. Spark plugs are a different thing. But it's something I have to work at. But especially when you're back in these areas, or these harder to get to areas, it's harder, you know, because it's just spinning. I'm over here cussing up a storm. Yeah. Vulgar. All right, but yeah. And then when you go to tighten these, you want to get these considerably tight. You know? You don't want to, because you'll have an issue. That happened to me last time. I didn't get it too tight. And I wound up having an issue, and it was really a misfire. And I figured out that, oh, I didn't have it tight. Or something. I also broke one of them. I forgot what it was. It was another truck that I had. And I had a misfire because of that. But you want to get these considerably tight. And it's better to use both hands. Grab it down here, stabilize it, and then get your other hand up here. And then kind of move it just like whenever you went to go get it to work it in, all the different rounds. Do the same thing with this hand as you're tightening it. And you want to get it considerably tight, but there's a breaking point. You don't want to get that. But, you know, there are certain specs on here that you can look up. I'm not going to look them up for you, because I'm going to do it my way. But not too tight. It's better to have it loose than too tight, honestly. That goes mostly for a lot of things, really. A lot of things, except the high compression things. And with these, I don't know if the spark does a compression type of deal. If you get compression, I think this is a compression chamber. You shouldn't have compression here. I don't know, but a lot goes on here. Electrical. But these here are kind of hard to get all the way on, but once you get it on, it's on. All right, make sure it's on. Now this last one, I had a problem with this on the driver's side front, right? This is gonna be my last one today. But there's this little sensor. I think I'm having an issue with my low water sensor, but I broke this, right? I broke the clip where it clips in, so it'll fall out. Just kind of bend that out of there, way there. Battery's gone. And then the last one is right here. So we'll see. I think it was hard last time. It was hard the last time I did it. Boot. Careful, don't pull that wire. Well, this is quite strange, actually. I forgot what happened. What did I do? What did I do? You know, I think I broke a couple of them. Last time I tightened them up too tight. That's why I learned, don't do that. Be lucky to get them out of there. But I might have bought a little E3, what? 2.0? Ethanol type of deal, I don't know. Alright, check it out. That's crazy. But I'm gonna run this one. Afraid myself for that second. This is quite down there too. Little floppy right there. 030. I'm about to bring it up. Anyway. I put them all at 040. 040 will do it. This one being super easy. It's being super easy. It's good. I wanted to bend further. Just went on. Anyway, no matter how much of the opposite I was saying, God is good. It's all back together. Now, I'm past that. I got an idea of what's going on. I can't forget to put this back on. Alright. Even though the latch clip is broke, it don't matter. It still plugs in. Looks like it's gonna be on that side. Yep. Beep. Plug it right in. Alright. It just don't latch. So it just comes right out. If you pull it out, you know, I think it's good. I'll read these codes once I get my battery back. See what codes I got. I'm having all kind of codes. But you know, one thing can cause a lot of stuff. I know I'm having this issue right here, but this little hose is leaking. They don't have it at the parts store. I might go to an aftermarket store and find it. I don't know. There's plenty of stuff around here. There's got to be a way to find it. There's plenty. You just got to search and find it. I think that's gonna fix my little vacuum leak. But I'm having this stupid knock sensor issue. I'm not even gonna show too much about that on here. But I'm gonna make it happen, and I won't be posting that one. The intake, the knock sensors are up under the intake manifold, so you'll have to take all that, unplug it, and gasket it. And I'm not having an intake leak. This thing runs so smooth, but I'm getting a call at my catalytic converter for some reason. Maybe because I idle too much or I'm low RPM. I do get on it sometimes, but maybe I just need to get out there and get on it. I'm gonna give a shout out to LS2 or MOS2, sorry about that, liquid moly. I think I'm just looking into that, and so far the results I'm getting at that, yep. Purple, royal purple, shout out. Pennzoil ultra platinum, I'm about to get into some of that. I love you all. I thank you for posting your wonderful ideas, whether false information or not. At least they're available for weight. And I'll get into more projects, just find out what these sensors are exactly. And till then, God bless. Or should I say God be more with you.